Are you ready to go ape shit for your headliner?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, are you fucking ready to go ape shit for your headliner? That's the type of energy I'm looking for. This guy is so wonderful. He is the biggest name in Portland comedy right now. Ladies and gentlemen, go buck wild for Adam Pasi!
It's a good song, huh? Big good song. You went for all the comics y'all saw tonight. That's when you cheer for the comics. Especially Ben Harkins. That shit spoke to my heart. I did not think he was gonna do that. The giggity stuff. Yeah, we were daring him to do it. I almost choked Kate Murphy to death on the side over there. Just excitement. I was like, I can't believe you fucking did it! It's been a fun show. Thank you guys for coming out. I'm 38. I turned 38 last August, and I celebrated my birthday by getting drunk and making out with a male friend of mine. Not even that big a deal. It's 2019. I personally have believed for quite some time that gender and sexuality are fluid things. In addition to that, I binge drink to the point where it doesn't really matter what I believe anyway. So, yeah, more than anything else, my beliefs are alcohol soluble. That's the best way I can define them. Portland liberal me, conservative Christian me. Both those guys kiss the same amount of dudes after 5 shots of whiskey. I'll make out with a dude. There's nothing. I'll kiss a guy on a dare, I think he's hot, or just had the last bite of something I wanted. I'll kiss a guy. My friend, on the other hand, does not share my views on this subject, because he was shook up. I didn't even find out about it until 2 days later. He pulled me aside. He was like, hey man, just so you know, we kissed on your birthday. And I was like, tight. Thank you for the birthday kiss. You're a sweet boy. Took 2 fingers, held on his lips, put them there. And then he goes, I don't think you understand. We use tongue and everything. And I was like, yeah, bro, how the fuck do you think I kiss? Oh man. With them just tiptoeing around my own 38th birthday party, pecking dudes on the cheek like some type of pussy? Absolutely not. I can't play, sir. I'm a man and a half measures. Therein lies the difference. I'll kiss a male or a female. I bring different energy to kissing a guy, though. When I'm with a lady, it's tender, compassionate. You know, I'm searching, trying to see if there's more between us in this physical moment we're sharing right now. And I can maybe feel all those things kissing a man. But the only thing I felt with men thus far is the spirit of competition. If I'm in your mouth, I'm there to fucking win, bro. Know that shit. Know it in your heart. It's closer to arm wrestling than it really is anything romantic or sexual. There is an uncool aspect to that kiss, though. It's the fact that it took place and my friend was blackout drunk. That's not okay to do that to people normally, but in this case, I think it's a high-level act of feminism. She gets it, the rest of you don't. Explain feminism to you misogynists right now. Feminism is the fight for equality, is it not? And among the goals in that fight is one, less creepy things to happen to women, but we're not there yet. So I say, in the meantime, to break it a little even.
Yes.
Do some creepy shit to these dudes, right? These drunken, grabby hands can be justice if you just point them in the right direction. It's like Republican gun theory. How do you stop a bad guy from hitting on you too aggressively? Send the worst guy to hit on him more aggressively. I've seen people storm out of comedy shows because the person on stage said something insensitive regarding sexual assault. That's completely everyone's prerogative. They want to do that. I just want to present a second option. That is for you to buy me 5 shots of whiskey. And I'll give that boy some perspective. There's conflicting messages in that joke. Some attention to him. I don't do stuff like that anymore. Can't be running around kissing dudes. I got a girlfriend. I'm in a committed relationship. My girlfriend is an atheist who believes in ghosts, which is bullshit. That's not how you do either one of those things. You gotta pick a team. Susan, you can't be a vegan that only eats chicken nuggets, right? So, figure your shit out. And it's not like I have any right to make fun of her. I'm agnostic. You know what that means, right? When someone's agnostic, it means my skepticism towards God is matched only by my unwillingness to read anything. That's agnostic. So I can't really be up here trashing my girls about her beliefs. I kind of get it though, because when you believe in ghosts as opposed to an omnipotent being, you're asking less of your supernatural forces, faith-wise. When you believe in God, any God, you have to believe in miracles. You know, water into wine, resurrection, power to start a camp that cures games, miracles. But when you believe in ghosts, all you really gotta do is ask yourself every now and again, did I shut that closet door already? I don't know, I had what I chalk up to a religious experience 2 days ago. My phone got smashed by a truck in the most perfect manner that it moved me and my friend that saw it. I was putting my jacket on, my phone fell out of my jacket pocket, bounced off my body, rolled perfectly in a cartwheel for 5 feet. Like, if I just showed you a video of it, you'd call bullshit. You would not believe it. It would look like an Olympic gymnast, my phone did. It looked like a 14-year-old girl whose reproductive system had been destroyed by poor dieting and overexertion. The phone was tumbling perfectly for like a minute and a half. Lands in the road, the minute it lays flat in the road, it is run over by the only truck that was on that road for the next 10 minutes. Oh. Right, and normally I'd be pissed because I lost my phone, and normally my friend would make fun of me because I lost my phone. But we were so awestruck by it, we just looked at each other, and then I finally just go, miracle? Maybe God does exist, and if he does, he apparently wants me to read more, get off YouTube. He hates my phone. God murdered my phone. My girl's dope. I'm her type, which is super convenient. 100% convenient. Most of the guys she dated look like this. And it was great because I was thinking about getting my shit together. But then she came along. I was like, nope, nailed it. 100%. Put the salad down. We're going to give the people what they want. Although being with someone who's into bodies like mine for the first time, it's given me new insecurities that are different than the ones I had before. Because in prior relationships, I was jealous of fit dudes, buff dudes. Watching TV with an ex, and someone with abs comes on the screen, I'll say something shitty like, yeah, but he's not funny, I bet so. What's wrong, right? Probably a bad cuddling. That's a bad cuddling, but that's a little spoon that you're looking at, just so you know. But now that I'm with someone who is specifically into big men, I'm jealous of big men. The other day, we were watching a Lost rerun. The tuba music came on and Hurley came bumbling across the screen. And I see my girl making eyes at him. I'm like, yeah, but the camera adds 10 pounds, so it's probably water weight anyway. He's bloated, not fat. There's a difference. He's a Hollywood actor. That's an implant. That's clearly a front stomach. It's like the Kardashian butt, but in the front. It's a front butt. Just to be clear, these are just normal stupid insecurities. I'm not a crazy jealous boyfriend. I don't go flipping out just because there's other slubby dudes in the room with us. Like, me and my girl can walk through a comic book store without incident, I swear to you. You won't catch me snatching her by the arm and yelling shit like, don't you be looking at no one else in sweatpants. That's not who I am. We just had our first major fight a couple months ago. It was over Girl Scout cookies. I was buying her some pretty decent boyfriend, and I texted her to see how many boxes of Samoas she wanted. She texted me back saying, none, I don't like the Samoa's cookies, which is, yes, incorrect, correct face that you're making. In addition to that, it's offensive to me, your Samoan boyfriend. Hi, we don't have a lot of media representation as a people right now. It's pretty much The Rock and these cookies once a year. The next closest thing to a famous Samoan is Bruno Mars, and that is a Filipino Michael Jackson impersonator. So who gives a shit how you feel about the taste? Can you back me up in this and eat goddamn cookies? I would do it for you. If they made a sucky Norwegian cookie, I would eat it just to support you. That's not true at all. They make that cookie. It's the shortbread cookie. I'm not touching that. That's a shit cookie. It's a junk. It's not a cookie. It's a sweet cracker. I see you, Girl Scouts. Trying to peddle sugary saltines to people. You're not going to get over with that. It then got worse because I said, what do you want? She goes, Thin Mints. I go, cool, second best cookie. If one of you says tag-alongs to me, I'll throw my shoe at you. And it's not they don't taste bad, that's just the peanut butter Twix that you're waiting an entire year to eat. Go to the fucking gas station, live life. The Girl Scout cookie hierarchy is as follows. It goes Thin Mints, then the genetically superior Samoan ones, as in all things, they are the master cookie. Now my girlfriend, I bring her the Thin Mints, She doesn't put them in the freezer.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been sleeping next to this monster. With my eyes closed and my guard down and everything. Because I thought I was the woman of my dreams. Turns out I've just been sharing a blanket with a Samoan-hating cookie racist that wants her mouth at room temperature at all times for some reason. It's fine, we work through it. We have a really good relationship. We're super compatible. We have similar senses of humor. A good example of that is the fact that I fake choke her a lot. A fake choker. Neither one of us is into the choking sex thing. It's not my thing, it's not her thing, but what I'll do, a lot of disappointment maybe then, sorry, no shame, that's what you're into. It's just not for us. Well, what I do is we'll be kissing, caressing, saying sweet things, having a tender moment, and I'll just gently take my hand, put it on her throat, and I'll go, "Where's the gold?" And she's awesome, because what she does, she presses my hand in deeper. She goes, "I'll never tell, do it, bitch." And I usually like to keep a joke going at that point, but I just get so filled with emotion. I'm just like, you know what, this is real, right? Me and you, we're soulmates, be with me. Be with me! I'm just playing. I hurt my shoulder a couple months ago when I was with her. I hurt it because I fell down in the tub, which is an old man-ass way to hurt yourself. And even if I didn't feel that way in my heart, I definitely felt it when I heard my 10 years younger than me roommates telling people that I broke my hip in the tub. They moved the injury to a more old man place on my body for it to be. And what sucks is the true story is so much less dignified than me just being old and falling in a tub. It happened when I was at the coast with my girl. We got this really nice suite. She paid for it because I'm the comedian in the relationship. The suite had this dope bathroom, a giant tub. Next to the tub, there's this cool little window with French doors that open up to the rest of the room. So while your lover's in the tub, you can maybe serve him drinks, do some flirting. It's a real cool little setup. What that window is also good for is you can put your foot on the tub, jump through it, and yell, "Baby, I'm Spider-Man!" And I was for most of that weekend. Then our second night in the room, we had a bunch of drinks. My girl gets in the tub. I'm like, "Oh, let's use the sexy window." Open the doors, I'm serving her wine, blowing kisses through it, everything's going good. And she wants to invite me in the tub with her. And I had to explain to her I didn't think that was going to work because I haven't been able to fit in a tub with just me since the 90s. So this is not ideal, but she's naked, I'm tipsy, I'm very convincible at this point in time. So I give it a shot, and I did. I fit in the tub with her, but nothing sexy happened because I was too busy being amazed that I was in a tub with somebody else. And she's trying to make eyes at me, and I'm just like, "Baby, would you look at this shit, man? It's so much more malleable than I thought it would be. This is dope." And like now that we have both filled that tub up completely, it made me understand fisting, sort of. No, yeah, I used to feel the way you're all acting now. Yeah, I thought it was excessive and painful looking, but having been in that tub, I get it now. Once you push something to the limit, you want to see how much farther you can go if possible. Because I started reaching around the room, grabbing towels and shampoo bottles, trying to see what else I could stuff into the tub with us. So tub time is over. We're getting dried off. It's time to go to bed. And as I'm drying off, I look at the open window. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I gotta move for this." And she sees me walking towards us, she's like, "Stop, you're gonna hurt yourself." I'm like, "I got this." Put my foot on the now wet tub.
Oh no.
And I try to jump through, but as it turns out, Spider-Man's greatest weakness, soggy tub. Think about it. You read the comics, you watch the movies, you never see him fighting in a wet bathroom, do you? Not a coincidence. It's pretty much his kryptonite. Because I put my foot on the tub, and I yelled out, "Baby, I'm Spike!" That's when I went down, right? Hard, bam! But instead of a single impact, the tub had a scooping shape at the bottom, and I felt kind of off center. So I felt, bam, hit the tub, then scooped down, and started ricocheting back and forth, like Super Mario kicking a turtle shell 97 times in a row, trying to get all those extra lives. Like just a 360-pound Super Bowl. Like, you ever go to the mall during Christmas time, they got the quarter donation cyclone thing, when it goes down to the bottom, and that was my body, right there. Turns out my girl was a prophet. I did hurt myself. And finally, I kind of recovered from the impacts, plural. And I started laughing maniacally. And my girl, very freaked out, goes, "What's so funny?" And I just said, "Hey, what if this would have killed me just now?" Which I know it seems dark, but just come on, picture it for a minute. Just her standing over my idiot corpse in a tub. And what were my last words? Baby, I'm spiked. Hilarious. Hilarious death. Then I started laughing even harder. She goes, what the fuck now? And I go, it just occurred to me, you'd have had to explain this to my mom afterwards. What are you gonna tell her? Don't start with the part where we're in the tub together. She's not gonna believe that. She's gonna blame you. Call my mom, be like, hey, something terrible happened. I was in the tub with Adam. My mom be like, Adam doesn't fit in the tub with other people. He murdered my son. Tub killer. He's a tub killer. I think her best bet is just call my mom and be like, Miss Pasi, I'm really sorry to tell you this, but your son is indeed not Spider-Man. More of a Gwen Stacy, as it turns out. Like one in every group. Let it be there, you guys. It's a shitty reference that I cannot take out of the joke. It touches my heart. My girls are dope. I had to overcome a lot of my own personal baggage to be in this relationship. It's the first one I've been in a long time. I've been hurt before. I've hurt people before. One of my exes hit me with a cordless phone once. That sucked. Even though that one sentence kind of lets you know a lot about the relationship, right? That's some Hemingway short story shit. Lady hit me with a cordless phone. I'm either dating an unstable person in the late 90s, early 2000s. That's a lot. Or, you know, like a too kinky for me hipster, like now. The lady, so, yeah, for the longest time, I've avoided relationships, I've sabotaged them, shit started getting real. And I was starting to do that, but then I thought about how I truly felt about my girl, and it occurred to me that being with her for any amount of time, in any capacity, is worth whatever happens to us. She's worth it. And since then, I've been able to love someone without fear for the first time in my life. And it's made me happier than I've ever been, to be quite honest with you. Yay. Thanks, let me show that. She gets so wet. What, we're not sharing shit anymore? And you can't give me a minute to put some context on that? Because I just fucking opened my heart to you people in this very intimate setting and you turned on me so quickly. Shame. Shame on you. If I was wearing a robe, I'd be pulling it up. Well, shit, this works. Yeah, that's how you made me feel just now. She gets so wet. Because these three fingers right here. Ah, that's what you get. That's not what I was gonna say. That's a punishment. You made me do that. Treat me like a monster. I'll be a monster. All right, let's forgive each other and move on. I'm sorry. We'll come back together as a community. She gets so wet. It has me legitimately questioning whether or not I've ever aroused any other woman I've been with. Because when I'm with her, I'm like, yo, this is extra and fantastic. Or, are they all supposed to be like that? Because if that's true, I've been doing a lot of shit wrong for a really long time. Either she and I are just the most perfectly matched bedroom partners ever, or I've just been chafing my way through pity sex the entirety of my sex life. It's not the other one. The most important people in my life are probably my nieces and nephews. I have two brothers, they both have children. My brother Alex had a kid a little bit less than a year ago, a beautiful 10.5-pound baby boy. Yes. Yeah, that's what you get when you mess around with Simone. Yeah, a few months ago, a little sweet 10.5-pound angel left heaven and just thumped down to earth like a cannonball. Upon his delivery, the doc said, I think you might have been developing longer than I diagnosed originally. And I was like, yeah, what makes you think that? Is it the sideburns? Does make you feel that way? Or the fact that you had to put on a weightlifting belt mid-procedure? When they pulled him out, the doc slapped him on his ass to make sure he was breathing. My nephew coughed twice and then hit the doctor back. Doc pressed charges. I'm gonna try my nephew as an adult. Later on, when they put him inside the donut display case they have for the kids, you know, the glass thingy, right? Because people want to look at a newborn like it's a moon rock for some reason. Yeah, he's the only one that had his feet hanging out of his box. They were on some other kid's face in his box. It was messed up. This is his shirt that I'm wearing right now. Let's be clear. And the size of my nephew. He was delivered via C-section because of course he was. Had he not been, this wouldn't be a joke. It's a sad story about how much I miss my sister-in-law. Yeah, I'd be telling you guys how Alita was a wonderful woman who made my brother happy from the moment they met up until the moment she was torn asunder, ironically by the product of their love. Her tombstone would have read, "Here lies Alita Pasi, beloved wife, mother, daughter, sister, crater." It would have been a tragedy. Horrible tragedy. My other brother Tony has 8 children. Also what you get when you mess around with Samoans. Island people, strong swimmers, do the math, snippet of rapping. That's like your only chances. Only chances. I'm just playing, married a Mormon girl. Yeah. We had a nice Mormon lady with semi-automatic reproductive organs. Yeah, anybody been at that bump stock? She's fine. Rapid reload easy. Tony's kids are my favorites. I'm very close with them. His 1-year-old is probably the most badass person I've ever met in my life. His name is Malosi. And if you piss off Malosi, he will on purpose stop breathing. It's fucking gangster. What's the farthest you've ever gone to win a very petty argument? Because I know a toddler who will threaten his own life to not wear shoes. Taking away the agency of 2 grown adults. You can't force a kid to breathe. You can hit him, throw him in his room, but you can't make him breathe. What are you gonna do, cut a trach in this boy? Who's too rowdy for you to even wrestle shoes on, I might add? You're gonna take the whole head with you. Don't do that. By the way, he doesn't speak any words. He speaks no English whatsoever, and he might not ever have to, because he seems to be communicating his messages perfectly. Those messages being, if you have a toy and he wants it and you don't give it to him, he'd rather you put it on his grave. Because there's no turning back. Once he takes a funky breath, you can't get him to breathe again. You just gotta wait till he passes out. And what's, scary, but my sister-in-law's been dealing with it since he was born pretty much. So now, when he starts going in, she starts putting soft shit on the ground around him. His daycare providers, on the other hand, have not made peace with this just yet. It's a new situation for them. And she told him the first week when she dropped him off, because my sister-in-law is a monster like me, she was, "Hey, by the way, if he gets mad, he's gonna stop breathing and pass out." Just took off. And then she said she came back and saw just my nephew walking around the daycare like it's a prison yard with 2 handlers staying close enough to do whatever he wants, but far enough away not to interfere with him. Like a mafia don. I'm telling you, this kid's a badass. And again, there's no turning back. He takes that breath, it's over. You can try to give him the toy, he'll slap it away. I've seen him knock a rubber ducky out of his mom's hands and stare up at her with hate in his eyes and oxygen not in his lungs. Looking up as if to say, "Fuck that duck and fuck you. I don't want to see that duck again." Which, based on what I'm doing right now, very real possibility, by the way. You want me to have that duck so bad? Bring it to my funeral next week, stupid. Better yet, go ahead and put it on your dresser. That way you can wake up every morning and look at it and be reminded of the day that your son died blue-faced in your living room wearing this horseshit onesie and the shoes I allowed you to put on me, lady. Some of that might be hyperbole. This is not. Hard statistics, he passes out at least 3 times a week. It was a bad little motherfucker. I'm super close with him. One time, we're all hanging out at my dad's place. I was leaving to do a show, and my nephew heard me saying goodbye to everybody. My brother's 3-year-old, he was taking a shower, and he wanted me to stay so bad, he jumped out of the shower and chased the car down the driveway, waving his arms, yelling that he loved me and he didn't want me to go. And I pulled out of that driveway with tears in my eyes, bawling hard. 1, because I didn't want to leave him, my little buddy. And 2, I just wished so bad that I could tell him I loved him back at that moment. But I couldn't, because I'm not about to yell that out of a car at a naked little boy on the street. That's how you get put on a list. If I'd have done that, this wouldn't be a joke either. None of this would have been. My whole set up until this point would have just been me fulfilling my legal obligation to tell you I'm in this neighborhood right now. So, being a good uncle is very important to me. I have made some mistakes. One time, I was visiting Alex, the one with the heavy baby. My nephew's on the ground, he wanted me to pick him up, so I did. Use my legs, smart with that. I get him up to me, give him hugs, kisses, blowing raspberries in his fat little tummy, having the time of my life, my friend. But then I freaked out because I realized I hadn't washed my face since going down on my girl the night before. Oh. As I told you earlier, that has a lot of consequence, more than normal. I got pussy beard on a 9-month-old. I don't like your reaction, first of all. This isn't bragging, all right? I'm reaching out to you people right now. Because I'm worried. I'm worried I'm never going to see him again once I tell my brother what happened. And you understand I have to tell my brother what happened, right? No, I have to. Smell is the strongest sense tied to memory. So what happens if my sweet nephew grows up, has a chance to kiss beneath the covers, but stop halfway because he wants to know my vaginal musk reminds him of Uncle Adam? I love that boy. I'm not leaving him without these answers. Are you going with me or at me still? Because I very much explain, I'm not proud of this, you guys. What kind of monster would I have to be where I think this is cool? Like I'm just running up to random dudes on the street saying, hey bro, guess what I did last night? Smell this baby. Yeah, that's not who I am. I took my grandma to breakfast the other day. Platonically. I do comedy in small towns sometimes. You gotta explain shit to people. I don't know what's going on in Milwaukee. But that's not to say she doesn't still have it. It's still good. Good. Yeah, and we tried the chemistry, just was not there. So we're gonna say friends or family, if you will. And you don't have to feel bad for it. There's plenty of grandkids. And see, I took my grandma to breakfast the other day. It was my treat. Very pleasantly surprised when the bill came. $5. Because they're seeing a discount that I did not factor in. $5 for the sweet matriarch of my family, full breakfast. And at that point, I started wishing there were more senior citizens in that diner. Because, look, I've never been in a financial situation to where I could buy out of the bar. Like, I've never been able to show up in a place and be like, hey guys, one round on me. I've never had that much money. But at $5 a head, I could ball out of control at a Sunday morning day. Start kicking that door in, mush the greeter in the face. Okay, quick side note. Why is there a greeter at Denny's? Because if I'm not with my grandmother, the only other time I'm there is because it's 1 a.m. and I'm too drunk to navigate the Jack in the Box drive-thru. Did we really need a maitre d' for this scenario? What, are you going to show me a wine list next? I'm wearing one shoe. It's neither of the shoes I started drinking with. Kick that door in, mush the unnecessary greeter in the face. Then I'll just start sending breakfast to every blue hair in the room. I just gotta quiz them, make sure they qualify for the discount. Ask them questions like, you sir, you got a story about a war? How about 2 wars? Awesome, breakfast for you. Thank you for your service. You madam, how much does literally anything cost back in your day? A nickel, breakfast for you. You in the back, do you take issue with the fact that my parents are 2 different races? Double breakfast for you then. It's 2 grand slams on 8 home runs scored over the course of your bigoted meal. Speaking of old folks and racism, whenever I'm in the presence of my elders, be it my grandmother or an uncle or somebody, I become the complaints office for my entire generation. And one of the most frequent complaints I get is that we as a people are a weaker generation than the one prior to us. And I always bring up the point, maybe so, but we're less racist. It's a fair trade, right? Still pretty racist, mind you, but less than before, so maybe that's the key to world peace, is everyone just keeps getting weaker and weaker and weaker until finally we live in a utopia where it's just a bunch of wet-eyed blobs holding soft hands with each other in harmony. It's not that bad a deal, right? Also, is it really our fault that we're physically weaker because they had real food and we don't? Their food is made of food. Whenever you hear a story about someone going uphill both ways in the snow, that body was running on nutrients. Whereas damn near everyone in this room is made up of pectin and yellow number 5. So, they blame the participation trophy for the weakness of my generation. And people who shit on participation trophies for making people weak are people that have never gotten a participation trophy. Because they are terrible things to get. They started doing that when I was a kid. So I have had